Hi, I'm Joanna and welcome back to Walitalo woodburning. So I can try to do a little bit of explaining while I'm doing this, but I do work freehand, so I do not trace, and typically if I can see it, I can draw it. But I typically draw with pencil first, and that way I can erase. Burning, you really cannot erase if you make a mistake. Some people will use sandpaper and try to sand off a mistake. I typically do not, because it changes the surface of the wood for trying to reburn, and you always end up with like a little divot in the wood afterwards. Another trick is to turn the wood and rotate the wood as opposed to trying to work your hand all the way around the wood.
Like trying to draw a circle?
Yep.
So it's easier to turn a wood than...
Yep.
Okay. That's cool.
And the same will go for when you're doing shading. It's easier to turn the piece of wood a lot of times than it is to try to angle your hand in different ways. And that helps when you're doing like especially longer burns. If I'm working for 8 to 12 hours a day on it, it helps so that I don't get muscle cramps and what have you. And then I can go into like how I figure out what angles I'm doing, and how to line up, like looking at, okay, where does the point of the star come out from on the S so that it is all lined up properly, and not off center, things like that. Choosing different reference points on the image to make sure that it's proportional and has the correct angles and comes together and isn't like lopsided when you're done. I can go into like teaching things like that if you're interested in a video. Can go into like detailed shading. This will be a pretty straight black and white. So there won't be a lot of shading on this one, but when we get into more high detailed realism, I can talk about different aspects of that. I can talk a whole lot about different species of wood.
What kind of wood is that?
This is maple. This is hardwood, and it's a scrap piece of maple from a study at Michigan Tech, because that's where I have gone to school and done research, and I actually did a PhD studying
Interesting.
Wood and how different types of wood react differently to wood burning.
You know all about your woods then.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I noticed you haven't used your eraser yet.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't, I'll use the eraser.
Like mine would be half gone.
Well, one of the things that I was kind of taught at one point is there is no such a thing as a mistake in art. And so that's part of why I don't really believe in erasing or sanding things off, because everything that you do is a creative process that comes from within you, and everything that you do is part of you putting it out there. And so there are learning curves, but I don't believe that there are ever really a mistake in doing artwork.
Interesting.
It's all part of you being creative and putting your creativity into something physical. So everything that you do is unique and wonderful and beautiful. That's my personal opinion. And that's kind of how I teach it, is that even if it doesn't turn out exactly the way that you want it to, it's still not necessarily a mistake. It's still amazing and beautiful no matter how it turns out, because you're learning every time you do it. I've been doing this since 2017. I can't do that math in my head, but I've been doing this for a few years, and
A long time.
and I've been, every time I do it, every one I do, I get a little bit better at.
So it's like a stepping stone, you're saying,
Yeah.
more or less.
It's a journey, you know. But
I feel better being a musician because we're talking about making mistakes
yeah,
and hitting a wrong chord or playing a wrong drum beat or.
yeah, and every time you play it will be a little bit different. I can do replicas. I mean, I did
It's amazing.
the Sin Crazy logo for you once before.
I remember.
But you know, this one will not turn out exactly the same as.
Everyone is unique in their own way.
Right, they're all done freehand, and
And amazing.
every single one of them is going to be a little bit different on different wood with different grain. You know, so they're all original from what I create, and they don't have
And it
to.
smells like a campfire.
Yeah. Yeah,
Does it get any better? It doesn't get any better than that.
And different wood will have different smells when it's burning. Cedar is wonderful.
But very expensive.
Yeah, and that's one of the other things. We use all scrap wood, but it is all wood that would have been thrown away or burnt as scrap, that had no other purpose. We don't purchase wood for the artwork because I truly believe that this helps build environmental ethic into every piece of artwork that I do, by helping people to appreciate wood and the natural beauty of wood as part of the medium of the artwork itself, and sequestering carbon from not having it get burnt or put in a dump.
Turned into something beautiful
Yeah,
that would have got
but
discarded, basically.
exactly. And so
Interesting.
that is my philosophy of using all refurbished or repurposed wood, because it does really make an impact environmentally. So
Well, it's true, because we live in a wasteful society nowadays, I believe.
Yeah, and so to take the time to actually put hours of work into a little tiny piece of wood that would normally just be thrown away and discarded, and create something that somebody will cherish.
And one less tree is wasted.
Exactly. So to get a real distinct line, I use the edge and kind of cut down like a knife there, and then I pull the shading back in toward the center. And I'm doing this in like a negative image from the actual logo. The actual logo, the writing is light and the background is dark, but just for the sake of like time, since it does take a long time to burn black, I'm doing this as a negative image of the logo, with the writing being burnt in and the background being light. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more.